Hi, everyone. We are super excited today. Cami is presenting for us, and we are going to be doing visualize learning with Canva, magic insights and magic charts, data made simple for educators. And this is a professional development session. This will be an amazing session. Cami, we're just so excited to have you. How are you feeling?
Well, good. This is all very, very new stuff. I don't know about your account, but this new Canva material, or the new Canva features, I've really rolled out to most accounts on May 20th, and it's May 24th today. So this is new stuff. So I've been playing a lot and trying to learn a lot, but I'm kind of learning along with you. So um, my name is Cami. I'm from Medicine Hat, Alberta. Which is if near Montana, near Saskatchewan, if you're wondering where that is, Treaty 4 and 7 territory. By day, I'm a district instructional coach, and Victoria and I are both Logix Academy facilitators. Tell us about you, Victoria.
So I am coming from Aldergrove, BC. It's beautiful here this morning. The sun is shining. It's supposed to be a beautiful weekend. And I am currently on the Kwantlen, Katesy, Semiahmoo, and Matsqui unceded land. We are actually have some local schools here that are learning about Hunkaminam, and that is the language of the people here. And yeah, and if you're interested in learning more, you can go to the website native-land.ca to learn more about your local area and your Indigenous people who live on the area. So Logix Academy, if you are interested, you can go to logixacademy.com. We'd love for you to visit the website. You can visit us on Instagram, on Facebook, and you can even email us. We would love to have more engagement. Feel free to connect with us on classroom presentations, staff prodies, and a lot more.
I've also noticed that we're just on Blue Sky recently, and we've been on LinkedIn for a while too. So you can find us over there as well.
Awesome. And we have so many different products that we work with. So Logix Academy provides engaging and comprehensive K-12 computer science education solutions, including robotics, curriculum, resources, and professional development. I would love to engage with you more and find us on social media.
We are just a brand new Canva training partner, and so that is super exciting. So this is one of our first big Canva events. That's awesome. We're a Microsoft, Google, Apple training partner, so we love to train teachers and students with technology.
And we do want to thank Microsoft. We sincerely thank Microsoft for their generous support of this workshop as part of their commitment to fostering a broader understanding of AI. Okay, if anyone is interested, you can check out the Digital Skills Compass. How AI savvy are you? Check out the Digital Skills Compass to find out. And can you beat the score of 36, which is the average score for educators? So feel free to check out skills.ai4sp.org/.
Have you done the Digital Skills Compass, Victoria?
Actually, I've seen it and I've been part of it, but I actually haven't finished the test yet. So I'm still in the midst. How about you?
Well, what I found as I went through it's interesting to see, of course, what your score is at the end. But what
Yes.
I found really interesting was just the nature of the questions and the things that they were asking to kind of rate our savviness. And so I found just
Yes.
the whole process of going through that was really
Yes.
quite thought provoking. So
Yes.
certainly worth doing. Great to do with if you're a school leader. Great to do with your staff. You could even do it with older students as well. There is a fair bit of reading in there.
I'm curious, what score did you end up getting? Did you do well?
I got over the average, but I don't.
Wow.
It was a couple, probably about a month and a half ago, and I don't remember. But I was over the average, which makes sense. You and I, we
Mm,
spend a lot of time in, playing with digital and AI. So I was a little bit over the average there.
very cool.
So we're gonna dive in. I think we're ready to dive into the meat and potatoes today. We are going to look at very, very new tools in Canva, magic insights and magic charts. And hopefully we'll take a look at how to make that easy with data. And so in order to do that, we're going to look at some sheets reviews, because you can't actually use Magic Charts or Magic Insights until you know or can use Magic Sheets. So I'm really interested. Let us know in the chat. Have you been to one of this is the third session of our day. There were sessions in both of the earlier time slots on sheets and using sheets. So if you've been in one of those, let us know in the chat. I'm going to assume here that you haven't quite been in one of those. And so we're going to pop into some sheets overviews. How about you, Victoria? Have you played with sheets, used sheets much? Or are you just kind of getting into it a little bit? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm a big Canva fan. I'm going to actually switch us into pairs so everyone can see us here. I have really enjoyed jumping into Canva. I was an early adopter, so I got an account years ago, but I didn't really use it. It was only until July of last year that I was like, I'm going to learn. So I started on that journey. I really like video creation, and so that's kind of where I started, and I learned a lot about kind of how to embed voices and video and images. So I am still on this journey, Candy. So I'm super excited to learn a little bit about Sheets because I actually don't know much about it.
Well, Canva Sheets has been available to the public since about 5 days ago. So it is new. The big Canva extravaganza that was about a month ago, the big Canva Create show that they have, Sheets was kind of the very first thing that they introduced. And so this is brand new. And so overall, as we dive into Sheets, I would say if you are an Excel user or a Google Sheets user, you will find that it works like a spreadsheet. Can you imagine that? But a beautiful spreadsheet because it's Canva. And so we're going to just take a look at that. And I'm just realizing that, okay, I'm going to, let's do this first of all. So throughout this presentation, I've got some little tutorials in here that are from Canva. And so Victoria, if you want to just put that link in the chat again for us, if you haven't, and actually it's bit.ly/KANN charts, all lowercase. If you click on that link, that will get you access to this whole deck. And along the way, when you see these little click here or these you try pages, what'll happen is it will pop you into a beautiful little Canva tutorial that you can use and that you can even go on ahead and try with your students or your staff as well. So actually, let's just pop into this first one. So I'm going to click on click here and then click on that little pop up. And then Victoria, can you just confirm that you're seeing a different screen?
Yeah, so I'm just going to copy your link to this presentation. Is that what you want? Okay, so I am just going to do that right now. And you want it for them to view it, correct?
Well, so it's set so that it's set. No, so if you just use the bit.ly, and the bit.ly is all set up. So if you just pop in the bit.ly/KANN charts, if you just pop that into the chat, that's already perfectly loaded and ready to go. So
okay, I can't see the bit.ly though. That's the only thing. Okay, I don't know where it is.
So let's go back, Carol. Let's go back to the first page. There it is.
Okay, so there we go. Okay, so I will type that in. There we go. Bit.ly can charts. And we are good to go. There we go. And it's going into the chat right now. And it looks like we have two people joining us today. And if anyone's interested, feel free to put in the chat where you're from. It'd be great to hear. We had someone from Ecuador and someone from Morocco this morning, which is kind of cool.
All right.
Back to you, Cami.
Okay. And so with that, if you just copy that and paste it into a browser tab, you'll be able to open that. Or if you type https:// in front of that, that will get you in as well to make that a live link. Just a second. I got my sheet over there. Okay. So let's go back. We were Got to find where we were.
Trying to find, I am going to mention that there can be some differences between the teacher Canva account and then the Premium Pro. Okay, so depending on what product you have, or even you may not even be in the teacher version, you might be just on the basic version. So just remember that they are somewhat nuanced.
Right. And so if you are an educator, you can get a free pro account. There is, I didn't put it in this deck, but you can go to look for Canva for Education, and there's all the information over how to go ahead and get a free premium account for yourself as an educator. They ask you to prove that you're an educator. And if your school does not have Canva for Education school-wide or district-wide, make sure you talk to your school leader or your district leaders. It is awesome to have access for all staff and all students to these Canva tools. Do your schools have access to Canva that you know of, Victoria?
Yeah, so I'm connected with the Vancouver School Board, and just as this past September, all Vancouver School District teachers and staff have access to the educator version. Yeah, so there is a difference. I've been working with the premium version, and so for those people out there that have the premium version and want to convert to the teacher version, just so you're aware, if you've done a lot of products in the premium version, if you choose to share it with your teacher account, sometimes there are watermarks. So there's a little bit of a difference and a nuance between those accounts.
Most of us are going from the free version to the education version.
Yes.
So for most of us, it's a great upgrade. So
yes,
you're one of those lucky ones that has access to the premium one. So during this session, you'll find some of these little slides again that say you try. When you click here, like so, this one is going to say. You're going to get use template. And so you're going to click on that. And then what it does is it gives us a little showcase into how to use Sheets. So this takes us into Canva Sheets, a new Canva Sheets window opens. So that's lovely. And then we can look at how to do a few little things in Sheets. So Victoria, because we need to know how to use Sheets, and I'll show us how to find Sheets in a minute, in order to use Canva Charts and Canva Insights, we need to know how to use Sheets. We're going to just do a little dabble into some Sheets tools. So
fantastic. And Cami, we have a first question.
Okay.
So our first question is there a way to save the slide presentation to my Canva account? So can I jump in? Because I know the answer. Yep. Okay. So you're going to open up this presentation, and you're going to go up to File, and then you're going to go to Copy, and it's going to allow you to make a copy of this presentation, and you can rename it, you can save it, and you can actually save it to a different folder if you want. Unless, Cami, do you know another way?
No, that would be yeah.
Okay.
And it will be valuable because I have all these little tutorials in that I've got in here, and Canva with their recent updates did quite an extensive site redo. And so I will be honest that I can't even necessarily find the path to the things that I want in their support section. So they'll be in this this slide deck. So let's take a look here. So the first one says add a date with actions. So it says try it out. So it says select this cell. So I'm going to do this. Now you can do this in a separate window, or you can watch me and do it before. So it says select this cell, go to actions. So in Canva Sheets, when you're in a sheet, there's this actions button, and that's where all the magic is. So I'm going to go to actions. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to select, there it is, date. And so then what happens is it puts in a little date widget. So when I click on there, I can find any date. June 27th is the last day of our school year for students and teachers. So we go right to the very end. And so I can put a date in there. So then I can say, how is that feature? Ooh, done, easy. All right. Next one, mention a teammate. Okay, so again, I'm going to go to actions. Oopsie. I'm going to click actions at the top. And then right here, that mentions. And so then I can click on someone that's already in my environment, or actually I have to be in the right cell, mentions. and then I can pick someone or at, let's see, is Victoria? No, I haven't shared it. Or you must have it. I know your Victoria isn't in your email address. So I could
Yes.
share with any of those folks and it would put it in there. Okay, next one. Oh, I love this one. Add animated graphics, GIFs, and videos. So this is super powerful to be housed inside of a sheet so easily. So again, I'm going to click into the cell where I want it. So this third cell here, and then it says drop an animated graphic. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the left-hand side. I'm going to click on elements. And I'm just going to actually type, if I click into search, it has graphics. And then you can see here, I'm actually going to type in animated. And so all sorts, look at all these fun animated graphics. How do you pick just one? Oh my goodness, this is too hard to pick. I'm going to pick these little stars, maybe the sun. I'm going to, oh, it's so fun. I have to pick a whole bunch. Now, you'll notice this one, the white doesn't show up. So I'll pick a different one. Ooh, and that one didn't go into the, get that in there. Okay, delete that. Select that. Now it'll go in there. There we go. All right, so I have to have my cell selected, and then when I click on a graphic, it just pops it right in there. And when I have that cell selected, it sizes it automatically. So I would say that that is, I love that feature. Maybe a little tricky, but I love that. Okay, now the last thing, so that's an animated GIF. We can drag and drop photos from the Elements tab. So when we use the Elements tab, so again, I'm going to select my cell, come up to Elements, go out of here. I'm going to click, when I click in the search button, I get to photos, or I get the new, actually, this is a new look again. If you haven't been in Canva for a while, the images used to be an icon on that very left bar, and now it's under here. So I'm going to go to photos. And so I can pick just about any photo. I could also upload a photo from my Google Drive. Let's see, let's look for a cat photo, because, you know, isn't that, oh, look at that. There we go. So there's a cat photo. And there we have it. So that is a fun little way to just learn a little bit about navigating in sheets, practicing. You got to be in that cell. And if you're in that cell, your content will pop right in there. And so you can scroll down, and there are some tips and bonus activities. I have to tell you a story, Victoria. This morning in Medicine Hat, every spring, they have a hot air balloon festival.
Wow.
And this morning, my house was in the flight path of the balloons.
Wow.
The balloons were going right over my house. And I took a whole bunch of pictures. And in the other session that I just did, photo magic with Canva, I did a whole bunch of manipulations with the hot air balloons from the photos that I took. So anyways, this is so cool. This nice little template, this nice little tutorial that you can get to. So that is a nice little feature there. So let's look at one more feature in Sheets. And so this is also a magic formula item that you can do. So they have another little tutorial. We'll open that up, and then we'll play around a little bit more. So I'm going to use template, and I'm going to follow these instructions. And so you can insert beautiful things. You can build like all the Canva tools that we love, the colors, the gradients, the images. All of those elements are at our fingertips to build really beautiful pieces. So this one says, copy this prompt. So I'm going to copy this prompt right here. So highlight it, Control-C to copy. And then it says in row F12 at the bottom of the invoice. So I can see F or F21. Now I think I have to scroll down. Sure enough. So there it is. I can see that open cell. It says type equal. So I'm going to type equal. And then, look at that. Magic formulas pops up. I could just type in a formula if I knew it, but I'm going to type in or click on magic formula. And now I could just type something like what I wanted it to do, and it would actually try to do it for me. Isn't that like,
That's amazing.
So
That is
in this
amazing.
case, I'm going to paste that text that they told me to copy. So the total sum of must-have items plus 7.5% tip. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to click on the little generate formula. So you'll notice it doesn't want the nice to haves or the not needed. It's only going to calculate the must-haves, such as a Beyonce performance for $1 million. Okay, and so it says, here's the answer, 1,358,000 and change. And it says, here's the formula. So if I want, if that looks right, I can pop it in. If it doesn't, I can retry it. In this case, it looks pretty good. I'm going to say insert into F21. And so now that formula is there. So if I go into one of the, let's say the trapeze performers, they call me up and they say, oh, actually, we need to add some insurance costs. It's going to be an extra $20,000. You can see that that automatically adjusts. So that formula is.
That is amazing. I don't think Excel has this feature. I don't think so.
Not yet, not that magic piece, right?
Yes.
So, I think both Excel and Sheets are getting better and better where they have ways of helping us find the formula that we want or create it, but this is pretty slick. So that is a nice feature. And again, it's in the tutorial on the slide here. So let's take another look at one thing that we can do with Sheets. And Sheets and Excel doesn't have this either. I've typed up, I'm going to copy this. This is something that I typed up. I want to generate a sheet. So what happens in Canva is we have this feature that is called generate sheet. Now I have an empty sheet over here. And if I click and I go to actions, oh, it's not there. I know why it's not there. So I actually have to come out. Let's see here. I have to go into Canva. So this is how you get to Canva Sheets. Do you see like my Canva homepage now, Victoria, just to make sure we're all good?
do.
Okay, so up at the top here, we see Sheets. Okay, so I'm going to click Create a New Sheet, and this brings me into the Sheets environment. Now, you'll see on the left that there are all of these templates. And I would recommend that if you are wanting to play around with Sheets, that you just try with one of these trackers, right? So they're beautiful, play around. This would be a great place to start. But I want to show you how easy, well, something otherwise really magical about Canva Sheets that the other products aren't doing yet. Blank new sheet, again, in my other presentation, I have like a sheet embedded onto a slide. This trick doesn't work there, although lots of the other tools, I have to be inside of Sheets environment. So I'm in a brand new sheet. I'm clicking actions. Now look at this, generate table. Are you ready for this? So I could pick any of those pre-prompts. I'm going to copy my prompt, which says, create a sheet of names for a track and field day. I've asked it for 25 students, mix of male and females. I've asked for a column with their gender, their birthday in the birth years of like a 3-year range, which might be like your middle school students or your high school students. And then I said columns should exist for 7 field events. I named them. And then I asked for realistic results for students based on their birth date. And each student should have results in a maximum of 4 events. So I'm asking for quite a lot here. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
You better be sitting down, Victoria. Okay. So it's generating names. It's generating events. And you can see like the different columns have, so the first one, I bet that's high jump. Yeah, so high jump, those are not unrealistic scores for that age group. Now, here's the thing. What do you notice? Do you notice anything about these names? You're from Vancouver.
Yes.
How representative would these names be?
Yes. So they tend to be European centric.
Okay, so watch this. Okay, but make the list of names more ethnically diverse. We know that we live in a Canada that is very multicultural.
Wow, that's phenomenal. That's
You
so
did a pretty
great.
nice job, hey?
Yes.
Okay, so I like that better. I'm going to click insert. So there it is. And of course, because this is Canva, we can do all the things. I can pick a color, maybe school colors or whatever I want. I can pick a font. I can make this bigger. Like we've got all the tools at our fingertips, and they work so beautifully. So all that Canva magic that we love about designing.
Yep.
Do you like? I just created from a prompt, actual spreadsheet of data that's fairly accurate.
That's amazing.
One of the things I noticed, and so like, I mean, I was a track and field coach for a long time. I have a pretty good sense of what students at this age, I mean, these are pretty realistic. One of the things I see here is that the females have like a 6. This is like the female distances should be a little bit less than the males, and mostly they are. There are some outliers like we would find. So these are actually pretty accurate results even. And I wouldn't have had a lot of faith that the results were super accurate, but
yeah,
we just generated a whole spreadsheet from a prompt.
That's amazing. Do you still have the prompt available? Can we put it in the chat so people can play with it?
I do. So it is in oh, it is right. Oh my goodness. It is in.
Sorry, I don't mean to put you on the spot. I just thought if people are listening, they're like, "Oh, I want to try this." This
absolutely. I kicked myself out of my presentation. I went to the sheets in the I went to the sheet in the, oh, that's the one from this morning. I went to the sheet in the visualizing. There we go.
There you go.
I opened up sheets in the same tab that my presentation
was.
So
right.
that is, it was a dumb.
Well, and that's good for people to know too, that sometimes that happens.
Dumb thing that I did, but it absolutely makes sense. Okay, so here is the prompt for
so those who are listening, I know we have one viewer right now. I know I've been watching some Logix Academy sessions from a couple weeks ago. Use this prompt, try it out, see how it works, and then this is an opportunity for you to watch, press pause, then you try it and see how it works.
Yeah, there we go. So because when you put it into the YouTube chat, it'll put it into like probably, it looks like it's in 3 different parts there because it's too big. But so anyways, we have some data now, and part of the new Canva with sheets and the things we're going to look at, charts and insights, is that we need to have some data to work with. And so hopefully you've learned at least one new thing about sheets. Victoria, have you learned at least one new thing there?
This has been amazing.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So we have some data. So now what I did here is I ran that prompt earlier. I generated that same spreadsheet earlier, and I copied it and I put it into my presentation. So one of the, this is another magic thing about the new sheets. Actually, and just a second, I'll do next time. If I go to the Sheets Live, Victoria, don't let me do it in the same tab. Prompt me to open a new tab. Okay. I had one open and I had closed it before. So one of the things here is you can see that if I click into this view, oh, look, there's my actions button. But you'll see here I have magic charts, magic insights. I don't have the generate tool or some of the other tools. So again, to get that generate tool, you have to be in the actual Sheets program inside of Canva. So what I did though is I put this in here so that we could do some playing with some other tools. So we are going to look at magic charts, and then maybe I'll come back to that data. I've got lots of data in here that I've just kind of plunked in. It's not a beautiful looking presentation because I've just put, woo, here's some data, because one of the things using these new tools, you need the data from a sheet. So I've tried to put some sheets in here in case you're playing around in my deck later on. Okay, so let's try magic charts now. Okay, so we've looked at what it takes to make a sheet. From magic chart, you need to make a chart, you need to be in a sheet. So let's take a look at this little tutorial. And we'll use the template. You probably won't get that because I'm getting a little bit extra there because I'm the creator. So look at these instructions. It says select the data set, including the cells B2 to C11. It says in the floating toolbar, select the magic charts. And then in the side panel, select pi. And then look, it wants us to drop it into the front tire of this item. So this is a really simple set of data here. So I'm just going to scroll down and try to get everything. Okay, it looks like I have that. So I've selected it all. I can see that the handlebars are around that. Now it says in the floating toolbar, select magic charts. 2 places I can get that. It's saying select it right from here. I can also go to actions and get it from here. Okay, so I'm going to click magic charts. Oh, there it is. It says in the side panel, select pi. So pi's already there. And then it says drop it into your sheet. So I'm going to drop it into my sheet. Right there. Now, for a more seamless look, it says select a chart, go to the floating toolbar and change white to no color. Okay, so I'm going to click on here, change the white to no color. See what I did? So I'm not in the edit. I'm going to a transparent background. So the white in this, essentially, it's an image. I've clicked on white. Whoopsie. I've clicked on white. And now in the color toolbar, I'm going to go to the transparent background. And look at that. Now I can fit that right in. I can size that wheel right in there. And then if I wanted to go further, I would probably select the text and make the text white. I'm sure I can do that. Oh, I would probably text color. There we go. There we go. I could go, I'm not going to fine tune in here, but I would go into the top ones and change them so that they were darker, so that they showed up better. But isn't that pretty slick? Just like that. Now, what I also love is in the document. So if I don't love these colors, I can, actually, I'm going to go to, I'm still in text and I want to go to edit. So I'm going to come over to edit. Now I can customize my chart. So I can come to legend and it'll give, actually, you know what? Let's do this outside. I'm going to just do the data. I'm going to customize settings. We're going to do this outside of this one where it's going to be a little bit easier to see than on top of this bicycle. So that is a nice little tutorial that's simple, not overwhelming data. But again, it tells us the utilization rate of the different ones. And bike at 32 should be the largest. Sure enough, that's bike. There we go. So that was pretty easy. Thoughts on that, Victoria?
Fantastic. I mean, there are so many different ways to be able to demonstrate and explain information. And I think this like speaks a lot even to diversity and the importance of being able to meet where people are at. I find visuals really help low literacy learners as well as new language learners.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you're doing is really great. And I think it's fantastic for the classroom.
So what I did, so now this is back to our track and field data. And again, I mean, think of like, this could be rubric scores. This could be like, I mean, in schools, we have so much data. So what I've done is I've selected my whole chart again. I'm going to come back up to magic charts and I'm going to say view all charts. And let's just pick some of the different ones and see what they come up with from all of this data. So I'm clicking on bar chart. So again, I selected all the data. I went to my magic charts. Let's see what a stacked row chart looks like. Okay, so this one's interesting. Now watch this. It's over top of my page. It's hard to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in stacked row chart. It should, okay. Do you know if I was in the Sheets app, it would ask me if I wanted to pop that onto a slide. Because I'm not in the app, I'm not getting that. It's not asking me that. So I'm just going to make a new page here. Actually, I have a page. Let's delete this guy. A playing page. Sorry, we want it on this one. There we go. Okay. So I have the chart in the back. I just want let's delete okay. Try this. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted. I wanted the chart on this page by itself. And I automatically, so again, if I was in Sheets, it would automatically plop that into a presentation page. It doesn't do it automatically because I'm not in Sheets. Now, you'll notice that this doesn't quite fit the page. Are you ready for this? Here comes the magic of charts. I can easily, I'm just going to pull on these bars and look at how beautifully and quickly it sizes to my page. Like, it is a dream. Like, it's just like
beautiful.
Easy and beautiful. It's so interactive. So when we say that Canva Magic Charts are interactive, it's interactive in how we can pull out different data. It's interactive in how we can, but even just how it moves around. So if I wanted to change the colors, actually, let's look up here. So high jump. If I click on high jump, I can see the kids that had high jump, javelin. So these are actual little buttons that are at the top. And in Magic Charts, I can move that around. So if I come up here to the button and the chart's live, I'm going to click on edit. And now down here, I have under customize, I want to come down to settings. And right now under filters, if I hit add, I can also add at the top filters where it just shows me everybody's item individually. So I added a little filter, so it just sits at the top. And again, now my data is off the page. So watch, I can just push that down, make it fit the page. So I still have all these items that I can click on, but now I have this filter. So I can see which kid did which event, and I can do that. I can also, go ahead.
Sorry, Cami. I was just saying, could you show us again how to add that little piece at the top?
Yes. Okay. So it is, you do have to kind of know how to get there. So what I did is I clicked on the chart. I came to edit. Okay. And under edit, there's data. And so we could also so for example, I haven't named this chart and we really should. So this is like track and field results, and I could put the year, right? So we should do all those kinds of things. Whoop. So I clicked off there accidentally. Click on the chart, edit, colors. I can do some, I keep clicking off the chart, edit. At the top, customize. So this is where we are. So under customize, I came down to the very, very bottom, and actually I want to add the data labels and a legend. So I came down to the bottom though, under settings. I clicked on filter, and this was buttons. And so those buttons allow me, these are these buttons up here that tell me.
That's amazing.
It is. Now, you haven't actually seen really wow thing. I don't know that this is going to be the best data to show this with, but there's also a range slider. So I want to find out. So I'm gonna say just under high jump. So do you see how over here I only have high jump live?
Yeah.
I can see all the, like, if I just wanted to, like, I can say, here is high jump. So there's this slider, and this isn't the best data, but you can see that it's picking some of the information. And because it's like, no, if it was like, these are just items, if it was like a
Well, you think grade groupings, right? So
Yes,
if you know
yes,
grade 1 to grade 3 or grade 3 to
yes.
grade 4, like you could figure that out.
Yeah.
That
So
would
if I change the access to be like the age groups in this
Yes.
particular chart or something like that, then that range slider would be really awesome. So again, the data that I've got on this page isn't the best use case, but super cool, right? So I love that we can just pull out here. And actually, so now what I want to do, let me just come back here. I wanted to add access labels. So what we should do is, like, we should have the names or the items, that kind of thing is there as well. Now, I have also pulled out some other ways of looking at this chart. So here's another one where I have male and female showing. So shot put, pole vault, this is a better use of the buttons, right? So how do the different results compare? And that's just, again, these are averages. So like, just such interactive ways to show this data. We can come back to edit, sorry, and then we can again keep going into different chart types. Question.
Kathy Campbell, she just mentioned, I cannot believe the power here. And I just want to thank her for that comment, because I think I'm feeling the exact same. So this is amazing, Cami. Thank you.
Here's another version, and I popped this one out earlier. So again, this is, you can see my male and females. I'm going to click on the chart, make it live, edit. And then the settings here are a little different. So if I add these filters, I got the buttons, range slider. There was something different I wanted to show on this one. Oh, up here at the top. Watch this. Okay, so spacing.
Wow.
Like, just like magic, right?
Yes.
And of course, this will be a good one. I don't love that last color. We can change the colors. If you have, are you ready for this? If you have a school brand kit, which I happen to have sitting, here's all my school brand kits. I want to make this in a school brand kit set of colors.
Cool.
Change all. I probably shouldn't have. Oh, why didn't that apply?
But another thing to think about is, if you're presenting information in front of a group of people who, maybe a couple of them have color blindness.
Yes.
You can also really cater the graph to them, right?
Yep.
And make sure that your color contrast meets accessibility expectations.
Yes. So for sure. So some other fun little things I can add, like padding around the edges if I wanted this. Like, let's say I was popping this into another Canva tool, a presentation, a whiteboard somewhere else, and I wanted, less space around the edges. This is kind of fun. It changes watch the tops of the bars. It rounds them.
Wow.
Right? So
I love that.
Just like all those Canva tools that we know and love, I can change the font. Just like, boom, right? I could make it really unreadable. And then I could say, oh, well, that's better. So all of those Canva tools, maybe I wanted to overlay. So if I wanted this chart to overlay on something else, like all those Canva tools. And animate. I can animate this. This is fun. So I can animate it. Now, I'm not a big fan of animations, but if you had a presentation, an infographic, you wanted it to pop, right? So like you can just do all those different kinds of things. So lots and like, it's just so interactive. So here's what I would recommend. Get yourself into Sheets. Find one of those templates or go into Sheets, generate some data and just play, right? Play. Now in the charts again, I've clicked the chart. I'm coming up to edit. So at the top, we can, actually, I'm going to duplicate this page. Duplicate page. So I keep that data. We can edit and we can try different kinds of charts. What does this look like as a line graph? What does this look like as a packed circle chart? Watch this. Settings, layers. Oh, I don't have good data. This is actually a really neat one that I know I have another example of. But so just at the click, right? If the data supports it, it will give you all different kinds of data that you can manipulate just like that. So there's the data. We can come in here. Now this is actually the data. So you can see this must be the male and female averages. So I could change this. And if I change anything in here, let's say let's make this one to like 17. Actually, let's go really crazy, 21. So if I make this 21, will the data, did you see what happened? The bottom purple one, I'm going to make it even more crazy. So yes. The live data, 31, which is totally unrealistic. It just changes just like that. So I can manipulate the data here. And again, I didn't do a great job of necessarily adding labels and stuff like that, but that's where you would go in and do that. And then the customizing, you can add the legend. And again, you can see here, the legend's off my page. I can so easily make it fit. Let's pull that down, make that fit. And it's just like so beautiful how it just like the reaction, there's a word like the flexibility. No, I'm not finding the right word, Victoria, but how easily it just like morphs into what you need is like, wow. So anyways, let's keep going because there's one more thing. We've been playing a lot. Again, if you're in my deck, you can go in and play. The next thing we're going to look at is Magic Insights. Let's take a look at the little tutorial. So we're going to come in here, use the template. Okay, so it says select the table, including all the cells. So I'm going to do that first. So I'm going to select those cells. Now I'm going to make sure I read the instructions because sometimes when I do the thing, it covers over the instructions. So it says go to actions in the toolbar, click Magic Insights. And then it just wants me to generate insights. Okay. And it says scroll down to a chart, then drop it into the sheet to visualize your data. Okay. So we know how to do that. So I've got all the data selected. I'm going to come to actions and I'm going to click on Magic Insights and it's going to pop up a little sidebar. Now, when I started to play around with this tool, I started to ask it questions and I shouldn't have started there. Where I should have started was with generate. So I'm going to click generate. And so what it's doing is it's going to take all my data. It's going to read everything in there and it's going to give me some insights. It's generating, thinking.
Well, and Cami, after this little part, sorry to interrupt, we just have to show a little demo to one of our people in our audience that have a question about a demo.
Okay. It's thinking, okay, so here we go. I'll make this a little bit bigger. Hopefully we can see that a little bit better. So it talks about data contains adoption rates for these buzzwords. So basically it's a little summary. I can copy that if I want. It says the average rate across adoption rate for all across the years is 0.67. So it's running some formulas. The buzzword with the highest adoption rate is let's circle back. So if we look at the data, 95. Now, we don't have a ton of data. So, I mean, on this short amount of data, I could look at that and I could eyeball that pretty easily on this small amount of data. But imagine that you have 100 items, 100 rows in your data. How great that would be. So it gives me some averages, trends, that kind of thing. But then it also gives me some different charts here. So let's take this one right here. So it says comparing average adoption rates of buzzwords. I like that one. I'm going to say add chart to new presentation page. So this is what wasn't showing in my magic charts because I wasn't in sheets. I was in a presentation to start with. Does that make sense? So I'm going to click add to new presentation page. Watch right at the very bottom of my screen. And then it just pops it into page 2. So here's page 1.
Fantastic.
Here's page 2. Actually, I wanted this one. So we'll do the same thing. And so there again, look, we can really quickly make it fit my page, move that around. And so you can see all these buzzwords.
Wow, that's amazing.
What's this one? This is pivot. Pivot was lower in style, but if that had been 2021, that would have been really high. So again, all that data in a nice graph that shows all of that. And again, I can change all the things, the font, the color, all of that. And actually, if I come into here and go edit, because this is a magic chart, right? I can then change, I can say, oh, what does that look like as a bar chart? Or what does that look, right? So I can change any of those really easily. I can change the colors. I can do all the things that I want. So that's that little tutorial. And again, because this is a live magic chart, I can start playing in charts again. Okay, do we have a question?
Yes.
Need a demo.
So
okay.
I just want to show a quick demo. Now, first of all, there was a question about if I create a table in Canva, is it considered copyright free so I can share it across school division, for example? So I would, my answer to that would be, it would depend on what the data is. So if it's sensitive information such as students' individualized education plans and maybe diagnosis, then that would probably fall under like a privacy. But if it's a track and field results that are normally shared publicly because it's like a district-wide event, then that would be fine. Cami, while I set up this screen share, do you want to answer that question? Do you have any insights?
Yeah, so I would say that as far as so Victoria addressed like safety and privacy, which is different, but as far as like actual copyright, yes, right? It's just data. It's a yes. It's a yes.
Yes. So okay. So I'm just going to show a really quick thing. Kathy's been messaging me back and forth and saying, how do I do this? How do I do this? Okay. So I just want to show, let's see. Let me sure I have this right thing going on here. Okay. I am going to make sure that I am going to share the right page. So I'm going to actually go back here.
So we're seeing your version of my deck, it looks like. Yes.
Yes. So I am actually, so what the question is I want to duplicate your slide deck in Canva using your view only link. Okay.
Right.
So that's what was asked. Yeah. So it looks like to me that I'm having little glitches here, but okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to open it up in a browser. Okay. You're going to open up the link, and the link was bit.ly, yep.
.ly/KANN.
Yes.
Charts.
Yes. Charts. Okay. So,
we're not seeing, I don't think you were seeing your screen right now.
Not yet. No, okay. Not yet. I'm getting it right now. Here we are. Okay. So this is what it should be. So all I did is I've popped this up. That's all I've done. Okay. So then what you do is, the question was, I can't see how to copy it. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the share button and you're going to click share. And then once, oops, let's make sure we do this properly. So it did say open up with Canva at one point. Let's make sure we get it. Okay. So I'm opening it up with Canva now. Okay. So what's going to happen is it's going to ask me if I have a new thing. I just want to make sure I continue, and it's going to open it up. Okay. Now I'm going to anywhere. I don't want to see anything here. But basically what happens is I open up the the slide deck, and then what's going to happen is
It
you're
should
going
show up in
to then
your
move over.
library then.
Yeah, it should show up. So once I go here, I click here, and then it should show up into my home page.
Yeah. So
And then it's going to, and it keeps,
while you're
and
getting
then
that, today's
so all you're going
presentation.
to have to do is go over to the left. Yes. Sorry.
No,
I
I
was
was
just
going
going
to
to
say
say, all
today's
you have to do
presentation.
is go to the left. Left. Okay, I'll let you talk. You talk. Sorry. Yeah.
That's while you're doing that. So today's presentation was supposed to be an easy way to just click on those little this and get into those templates. But yes, if we can also post the link right at the end as well in the chat. If we can give you a different link so that you can make a copy more easily. We can, if that's not working. So
Okay. Yeah. So it should open up, and then on the left-hand side, you should be able to go to file, and then it says you can make a copy. So I don't know why it's not doing it right now, but we'll go back to you.
okay. So let me know when we're back at my screen. One of the other things that we can do is we can actually pick a couple we can pick a couple rows. So I picked the whole chart before. We can pick specific rows and ask for magic insights. And it'll give us magic insights as well. The other thing is when we click into magic insights, it says ask a question. So we can ask a question. We could say, what is the most economical way? I can only buy 3 pieces of furniture for my home. Which would be the best 3 to buy? So you can see here I've chosen some sites, or I've chosen specific columns. And then again, it gives me the total cost, product cost plus storage cost, which were the ones that I had chosen. So it's taken the columns that I have, it's given me insights just about those columns. So think about, like, reading scores, or if you have reading scores and math scores or grades, or like, think of the possibilities for getting in and really digging into student data, what that could look like, or even choosing rows of students. You will notice at the top here it says use one of 493 credits, but it refreshes basically like tomorrow. So every day right now you have 500 credits to use in across Magic Charts and Magic Insights. And you know what? We are going to slide into our finish. So basically, Magic Insights, you just play, right? You go in, you play, you can ask questions up here. It'll generate. It will, if you just click generate, it will give you what it thinks is information that's important. And again, the best way, charts, sheets, go in and play. Victoria, tell us about our year-end extravaganza.
Yes, so if you are interested, check us out, Logix Academy Year-End Ed Tuck. We have many different things going on this month and next month. Go to our website, go to end of the year 2025. We still have a lot of great things to offer, including Your Voice is Power. This is a really great opportunity for your students to learn about different types of music, do some coding, and we would love to see you in other sessions.
Great. We'll have some code-taught lessons where basically you just turn on Logix Academy. You can play, you can pause. We teach your kids all sorts of fun skills. You can contact us at events@Logix Academy if you have any questions about Canva or any other Logix content, and tell us about the feedback form there.
Yes. And you know what? I just wanted to do a big shout out to Kathy. I really appreciated all your questions and your engagement today. It's been really meaningful. And this is the thing, is that we're trying to make these presentations better. And so, Kathy, if you want to reach out to one of us, you can do that. Or reach out to one of the Logix technology teams to follow up from this presentation, because we do really want to help you out. And we just want to thank everyone here that's listening. And we hope that all of you have a wonderful rest of the weekend.
Yes, and thanks for riding with us on a very, very new product. We hope you jump into Sheets, jump into charts, jump into insights. And this really, at this point, you learn to do by doing.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Cami, for doing a fantastic job. I think we all learned so much. And hopefully we'll see you all sometime soon at another Logix Academy event. Okay, bye.